Listen to this.
Wake up and spaz like Dennis. You went outside, I wish it was different. Cheddar, this key. You went outside, I wish it was different. You went outside, I wish it was different.
You haven't got a penthouse that I can rent out. Is the furniture all white like Ye and Kim house? Always.
You haven't got a penthouse that I can rent out. I can see Rick James with his feet up on Prince's couch. Always wanted to know did Biggie get a big house? Do Pac got a...
Yeah, that's right. Kanye is using AI in his songs now. As a huge fan of his old music, this was kind of the final straw for me in terms of Ye as an artist, and it cemented the reason to me why Vultures 2 is trash. Before I really get into his use of AI, I feel like I should talk about his use of reference tracks. A reference track is when one artist records a verse, and then the main artist uses it to get an idea of how it'll sound, and then they'll record their own final version of that verse. It's pretty common practice in the industry, and I can show plenty of examples. Here's Work by Rihanna.
She sent me happy work, 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 work. She see me
work, 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 work. You send me happy work, 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 work. You see me do me.
With Kanye, he also uses reference tracks, but what you'll notice around 2020 to 2021 is him punching in the vocals from one reference track into his own final take of a verse. Here's Keep My Spirit Alive from Donda.
Curfew. How nervous dictate how they gon' curve you. Quiet all the cordialness. We walk in God's spiritual ordinance. We know the blacks are orphans, refuse to be runaways, rebel, renegade, must stay paid.
Okay, so why did he do this? You might not even notice the reference artist's vocals because it sounds so similar to Kanye's vocals, but why can't Kanye just fully record his verse from the reference? One of my theories based off some previous songs is that because Kanye records mumble demos that have some lyrics, he gets a reference artist to fill in the gaps of mumble lyrics. But instead of going back and re-recording everything so there's no mumble, Kanye just stitches together his take and the reference artist's take. Honestly, if you ask me, it's pretty lazy, but you can barely notice it, so I let it pass. But now we get to AI. On Vultures 2, specifically the songs Field Trip and Sky City, Kanye has taken these reference tracks and instead of recording his own take, he's applied an AI filter of his own voice to the take. You might be asking, how do we know it's AI? I'm sure you can tell with the Field Trip example I gave, but let's look closer at Sky City.
Wanted to know did Biggie get a big house? Do Pac got a thug mansion? Is it pimped out? Is it a place for the Jews and the Gentiles? I heard street niggas ain't in the top percentile. Real fast, my wife wanna know, do y'all got a gym now? She talking about she still trying to get her waist to slim down.
Did you catch the croaky, weirdly robotic parts of the verse? Kind of like it's stitched together from like multiple pieces. If you've listened to AI cover tracks before, you might be familiar with that croaky sound. But if you haven't, here's some examples from some AI covers I found.
I put the new 4G's on the G. I turn into the bloody bottoms is underneath.
So instead of just recording the verse, Kanye has applied a filter with clear audible flaws and he's released it on his new album. Personally, this is where I draw my line on Kanye as an artist. And to me, this is so lazy, like the laziest you can get. Because Vultures 2 came out unfinished and is still unfinished, I've noticed they've added some vocal effects to mask the croakiness, so besides it's still sounding robotic, you might not notice it now. But think, by being lazy and using AI, they've created a whole new problem that they've had to patch. So in turn, it's just taken way more effort compared to Kanye just recording the verse. So yeah, I consider myself a huge fan of his music. I even bought every vinyl up until Vultures 1, which I honestly didn't really like. But the use of AI is definitely the line for me. I'd also like to touch on how for the song 530, they uploaded a YouTube rip of the song to streaming, a whole other level of not caring. And the second part of the song is all mumbled, completely ruining it. And I know some fans are coping and saying he's mumbling because he said he's drunk on the song. But if you just listen to a snippet that he released in 2022, there's clearly way more finished vocals at that part. Again, lazy.
Fast forward, trying to find out what to do with this. Trying to pass judgment on me like I ain't shit. I'm too much of a ruin for a fake bitch. You don't really love Ye, go listen to Drake, bitch.
And I already know if you ask Kanye, he'll probably come up with some BS reason as to why using AI was an innovative and creative decision. But at the end of the day, it sounds bad and it shows you he doesn't really care about his art anymore. So there's nothing he can really say to justify the use. So yeah, let me know what you think about this use of AI. Does it take away from the songs and the album as a whole like it does for me? There might be a day where we can't even tell if an artist is using AI like this, but I feel like it's on us to support artists when they actually try with their music instead of doing lazy, like no effort stuff like this. Kanye had a good run with music. He would actually try, and if you just take a look at anything like post 2020, you can see like the decline. Even his tour now is just him like standing and like not actually like performing the songs. And again, he did try to justify this as like performance art, but now it's just like a blank stage with some smoke. So even that has gotten lazy. Like, this man won't even pick up a mic anymore. I can go on and on about him. I'm just gonna listen to artists that actually put effort, and not Kanye.